Okay, for my first trick. Tired of not working on this thing, so I'm gonna get started. And considering it's what is this, February 23rd, Central Florida, it's like 80 degrees out here, so gotta get something done. I got a pair of these hood cables from I got them from Rock Auto. They're Dorman aftermarket. I've already had the little latch out. They go in here like so, and when you pull that forward, of course, it pulls both cables. According to the maintenance manual, the only adjustment for these is to get them in is to match up. Somehow this thing is adjustable. Just this side, it says. I'm not sure. Okay, it's that adjustment right there. You can adjust the stroke on this one to match the other one. That's kind of weird. You see the way those are in there. But you know, it comes up. Yeah, okay. Should probably be more like that. Down here, it's got the little, I don't know what those are, T20, maybe T15 star bits. This one has it going all the way in front of the distributor cap. I don't really see that'd be great, but there's really not a lot of room in there. There's a distributor cap's up and tucked up in there. This thing's not mid-engine, but it's really shoved up into the firewall. So we'll give that a shot. I guess I'll put it back in this way and see what happens. Looks like that one's adjustable as well. And what they did was put some little crush weights on the end of those. Those are going to have to be pushed in, snapped out, whatever. Have to get a look at that and see how those are in there, so I don't screw them up. And if you've seen the earlier video, I open this hood without the cables, and of course the tool comes up in here and rips this up, but this is crap anyway, so I was able to do that as a demo. Alright, so let me go get some tools, and we'll get in there and see what happens on this other side over there. It looks like the critical issue is going to be getting him through that hole. Other than that, pretty simple. Get down here on the ground, of course. Yeah. Have to pull this trim out of here, maybe. See what's up in there. Alright, let me get going here. Okay, so these are indeed T15s. So are these. So you can take these three screws out here and remove the cover. Don't lose your screws. Then you can get right at this thing. So those clips come out. These little gizmos, these are your adjustments. Actually both sides adjust. The manual for some reason says adjust the left one, but I'm not sure why they put the BBs, because you can actually turn this. You loosen this sucker up, you can turn that, and that's your adjustment. So you can loosen this thing up by doing that. Supposedly these just pop up out of here. They're never all the way completely loose. That just comes right up. Now getting these clips out, they're kind of like a one-way clip. So they get trapped in there. So you push them in and they get crapped in. So the easiest way is going to be just to take a pair of dipes and clip these off and slide them through. The new cable should come right through there and snap right in, no problem. Getting down in the, somebody taking this off because of the, get the battery. We're gonna get into here. I'm gonna pull the battery out of here because it's no good anyway. See, that's pretty well trashed already. And as per the last guy I was looking at, see the new one. It's got to go in there. I'm probably going to grease that up a little bit, make it slide in a little easier. We'll have a look-see there. Now that I can snip these suckers, get those out of here, and these will be ready to bring everything over here. And let's see what happened to that one as well. Now a lot of people I see are putting emergency cables. I'm sure you see the videos where they put a second cable up in here, run it up and leave a little loop in here. Which, I guess if you're going to use this for, you know, a weekend driver or something where you don't leave it anywhere, that's just dandy. But you know, if you maintain these cables and keep them adjusted, I'm not real thrilled about giving people access to underneath my hood where they can steal the batteries and get access to all these nice Corvette parts. So I'm pretty sure anybody that knows anything about Corvettes or C4 Corvettes is gonna think, well, you know, chances are the hood cables are laying right up in there. We'll be able to open this thing up anytime they want. I'm too paranoid for that. I'm just gonna put the cables in here, carry my fancy tool with me in worst case scenario, but I just maintain these things and keep them adjusted, and I think that should be fine. Alright, let me get the other cable loose over there, and we'll see what we're going to do about getting this out. Okay, so I had to put a shirt on. It's gone way down into the, oh, I don't know, low 70s. Burr. Interesting. Here's the little piece of stuff they rolled on there. Just found out Tiger Woods is in a crash in California. It's some kind of SUV looking thing. Very interesting. Totally unrelated to any of this. So I'm about to make the ultimate commitment here. Now I'm committed. Snip that little sucker off of there. Take their word for it. That'll come out of there. That'll go back in there. Snippy doodle the other one. Pull that out of there. Now we're gonna get ready to do battle. Alright, that's gonna take two hands to get this. I'll get that stretched out, and I'm gonna pull this battery out of the way too. Get in there better. Okay, just to make it easier, since mine was already rusted through, I just went and snipped the long cable off. So now I just have a short one here. That's the original one there. This cable goes in like so. This goes underneath the dash. There's the ends that are going to go on the lever. So these are the ends that go out here. So I pried these clips off the old cable. You're going to reuse those. Took the battery out. There's a couple of bolts in here, which we're already missing because that has to come out in order the battery to come out. And I've taken some advice from my fellow YouTuber. I love using my big screwdriver, so I got a big screwdriver. It's got a slightly smaller one just in case I need to push a little differently. But what we're going to do is push that sucker through the hole. It's old and decrepit, sort of like me, so should pop right in there. Like so. so I should be able to pull that through before I get it all the way out though. Part of that cable I pulled out of the housing, and I'm gonna tape it to this end here. Use that as a guide, a fish tape if you will, to pull the new ones, start pulling the new ones through. You really can't see up in there. I probably have to come through one at a time anyway, because the hole's only so big. And these, could just cut these off, make it easier. That looks like that's going to come out easy enough. All right. Stay in there. So this one's out. I'm gonna give me some electrical tape. I'll go pro one of these days. Didn't need that little screwdriver. Let's see how well this will do. Worst case scenario, I'll just have to fish it through manually. I'm not gonna be on there too good, it's just gotta go through the hole there. And then I put a little loop on the end. I just gotta make sure I don't pull it that far. And it comes back to that. Let's go. That far. And that's all we gotta go for. Alright, I'm gonna let that loose, tape the other one to the new one, and we'll try starting to head back the other direction. Actually, I put a little baby shampoo on here to make it a little slippery. Grease really isn't great on rubber, so then I taped the cable. This is very professional, I know. Hole. No. Try to hold it here. So you can reach around the side over here and help push it through. But there you have one. I'm going to do the same thing with the second one. I'm going to stick this back through, tape off. You really don't have to do much. It doesn't take much to get it in there. And once I get that other cable in there, I'm going to have to fish it around both hands. Then we're going to have to pull it into place. Alright, well, my cable pulled off, but I was able to reach in there and manipulate it around to get it through that hole. So now, I'm attacked by electrical tape. Big challenge now is to get this in that hole, because if you'll see, that just slides around. So you can pull the cables, but that whole thing has to be pushed up into place. And it looks to me like that kind of locks it in there when you get it in. So that is going to be a challenge. We'll see what happens. I think I'm going to use my big long screwdriver to push from the inside. If not, I'm going to get a wooden dowel, big stick or something like a broom handle. We'll see what it takes. Okay, it appears this is going to be a two-part procedure. So you have to disengage that plastic part, put this up in here and pull it through till it gets to its little indentation thing. It's going to look about like that. This has got to come out. So we're going to push that up in there first. You can see where it comes to, and it's got a big part on it there. And then that's going to get pushed up in there. So that's what I have done. If you can see it, it went up with the cables. So here's this part. I'm going to get me a little more lube. Put a little lube on that. And then shove that up in there with my big old vanity screwdriver. Alright, let me get some lube and let's do that. Okay, it's about the most precarious thing I ever done with my camera. See if that'll stay there without me dropping it. Alright. This is the two-hander. Should go under there. Should go under there. Clicky doodle. A lot easier going in than going out. And that goes in there. Man. What the heck? Good old Chinese made products. That looks like it's cross-threaded. Nice. Cross-threaded nut right from the factory, right? Wow. Unbelievable. Alright, so it's going to take me a little doing with that. Get that straightened up. Anyway, that's how that's going to go in there. That's going to go down there. This is going to be adjusted. Pull all the way so this is all the way clear. And then we're going to adjust that with that nut. Jeez. If I can get it straightened out. Alright. Nice. Didn't fall over. Alright, let's do that. Alright, install the cables on the pulley bracket. Well, I got mine twisted. Come on. Fine. Alright, install your cables. I actually put mine in upside down, so I'm going to have to flip it over and do them the other way. There's one little spot, you'll see, when it goes to that position. Same with taking them out. They have to be in that very particular position, like so. All my cables are going to go in. They're not twisted. So they're like so. The bracket's actually going to go in upside down, like so. So the cables need to go on this side and go in. It's hard to do that without you seeing, huh? Like so. Then they're going to snap in right there, and that's going to go up when you pull them. It's going to pull the cables in and out, and that gets screwed up in there. Alright. Well, I thought there'd be something more significant in here, but And you can see that little screw hole and those two little slots. That's all apparently this thing gets. There's two tabs and one screw. And they're little, I don't know, there don't seem to be even hooks on there. I thought my cables were too short. I was getting upset. But I didn't have it pulled up all the way. So with that pulled up, it's gonna go in those things and that little screw in there, and then I don't want to get to adjusting it. Can't do it. Gotta have both hands, so upside down. Alright, well, got them in there, got them in here. These things should adjust. It looks like they're going to be backed up all the way to that. It looks like maybe they thought that's what they lock or something. You got that in there, clamped up. Make sure before you slip that sucker on the other side, this cable comes up into these clamps behind everything. Back up in there. They are pushing on this cable. It is really too short. Fits over the distributor cap, which is going to be a pain in the butt when you work on the distributor. You have to take these loose. It goes into clamp there. Barely reaches over here. Not impressed. I am not impressed with this. Dorman nonsense. To discuss some other stuff. To be full disclosure, this whole thing pulled out on me when I was monkeying around putting this thing in. Wow, what a pain this was. Had to get a bigger screw and a little tiny #1 screwdriver, and the only thing that fit up in between those cables to put that screw in there. But it's in there. I can't see the other one. Well, you can see the other one, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I just don't have my helper. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to set this right here. And without hopefully dropping the camera, I'm going to actuate this. And then I can go back and watch it. That I can find it. Alright. Goes all the way to end here. So if it goes all the way to end there, take a shot and close the hood. So I'm going to go back and watch that. If that's the case, I'll be putting this cover back on and trying it out. I'm going to do this #2 because that didn't seem to go far enough. Working by yourself, so much fun. Trying to look at is right there. Alright, we'll see that. Needs to be even with the other side. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so I ran out of light. We'll do the final test. Wrap this up, sorta. All right, I got that through. I pushed the little collar through on the other side of the long screw die. You can feel it click in there. Tied it up in the clamps. Goes behind, pulls up. I put these little sleeves that come with them where they're rubbing at. Not impressed. These are Dorman cables. Where are we at? There's an adjusting nut on here which locks these in place, because this is how you adjust basically the length of the cable. This one's okay, I believe. This is what I'm looking at. It's kind of tightened up against that nut, so I can tighten that one there. Unruly cables. Unfortunately, on this side, for what it looks like to me, now I haven't closed this hood yet, so to get the same place on here, this is what I'm looking at. So this nut should screw on down there to tighten it, but these nuts, I don't know what they did. Bonded them to the threaded part or cross-threaded them or whatever, but they do not move. This is ridiculous. This is terrible. This part is almost unusable. I can adjust the thing, but this is going to adjust. It's going to turn on its own with time or something, so I'm going to have to do something to lock this in place. I tried to make a goal of using only Chevrolet parts on this car so that it's O.E.M. and I think that's pretty much an example of why. I don't know who makes the Chevrolet parts for them, but I gotta assume they're going to be a lot better quality than this. This is just ridiculous. So I'm chickened out on testing it completely. This is survey cable. If you're familiar with, I think it's made of Dacron. Does not stretch. So like the emergency cables that people put in their hoods, I'm doing that for now while I test this hood latching system. Also something I read about closing the hood with the doors open. It says there's very close tolerance there. So let's take a look at that. I'm gonna go ahead and gently bring this thing down before I close it, and you can see how close that is. So before I close that, I want to go ahead and shut my door. It's a little better that way. Normally I guess you just let this thing drop, come a few inches up. So now it's locked in, so that adjustment works. But like I said, that side over there, I'm probably going to leave that little safety line in there for the time being. There's not a lot of tension on these things, so simply pull it. Cables are short. Man, it looks like they work, but as you know, alright, it looks like that's going to be good. Since this hood weighs 800 million pounds, I'll tell you what, you ain't got some strength to you. Having one of these is going to be a pain in the butt. Alright, so for now I'm going to leave that like that. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do about that other side. That's very disappointing. Anyway, you might want to avoid the Dorman cables, and if you do get them, make sure those nuts turn on there. Other than that, that's it for the moment. I think we'll leave it at that. On to the next project. Good luck.